Hey bookworms, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. It's Sam and today I am bringing you my birthday book haul. So my birthday is the 28th of December and my boyfriend bought me a bunch of books, which some of these you may have seen in my previous video, 22 books I want to read for 2022, which I'll link below. But that's because my partner basically bought them me and just put them onto my bookshelf, said that he'll put them on the bookshelf but I can't physically read them until after my birthday. So I thought I would do a book haul. I love watching these videos and getting new ideas. So I'm going to jump straight into it. We have about, how many books do we have here? 9. We have 9 books here. So the first book is Iron Widow. I think this is kind of a sci-fi book. We follow these characters who dream of the celebrity status that comes to piloting these transformer robots that battle the aliens across from the Great Wall. And their co-pilots are these females who are basically said to sacrifice themselves for their pilot. And then our main character, which is this character here, I don't know what her name is. Oh god, am I supposed to be able to pronounce that? Sitina? I am so bad at pronunciation. She basically offers herself as a concubine pilot. Her plan is to assassinate the ace male pilot responsible for her sister's death. This sounds like a revenge story that's going to have a lot of battles and war and action. Like, I don't normally really read sci-fi, but after reading Infinity Courts I realised I actually really enjoyed it, as long as it's not like too sci-fi where I don't understand, because sometimes it can just go over my head like but this one sounds actually pretty decent and it kind of reminds me of the game Titanfall. If you got, I'll put up the thing of Titanfall here and let me know guys if you play that game because it's awesome. Going on to the next one is The Never Tilting Wild. So I think there's a sequel to this one. A fellow booktuber who I don't remember who it was now talking about this book, and it just sounds so good. The cover is absolutely stunning. That is just so beautiful. And it says on the back, a demoness is what they call a goddess that men cannot control. So this world basically stops spinning, so half the world is constantly in light and it's really, really warm, and then the other world is in darkness and really, really cold. Both sections are run by 2 goddesses and I think they're daughters. What caught my attention is the fact that like this world is like kind of split, and half's really warm and in light and half's dark and cold, and I feel like that's actually kind of a cool idea. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted this one. And next up is Rush of Wings. That was a struggle because the list was going to come out. This book, honestly, the cover is so beautiful. Like, I'll actually put it close so you guys can see. Just so beautiful. I actually don't remember what this one's about, so I'm going to have a look. Why are these names so difficult? Rowena has always known that there's magic within her, but though she hears voices on the wind and possesses unusual talents, her mother, Married, believes that Rowena lacks discipline and refuses to teach her the craft that keeps their Scottish village safe. When Marie dies a sinister death, it seems Rowena's one chance to grow into her power has passed. Then on a fateful, storm-tossed night, Rowena rescues a handsome stranger named Gawain from a shipwreck, and her mother miraculously returns from the dead, or so it appears. So I'm not going to read all of that just because, one, the struggle over here when it comes to reading out loud, but also I don't want to go into this one knowing too much. It just sounds really, really interesting, especially the part about like the mother returning from the dead and her magic that her mother kind of kept from her. I feel like this one's going to be really, really good. I've not actually seen anyone talk about this book, like not personally like Free Bookstagram or BookTube. I haven't seen it, so I kind of want to look up some videos and see if anyone did a non-spoiler review for this one to see if they enjoyed it. Next up is a book that most people have probably heard about. It's a book that came out, I think it definitely came out during 2021, and it was talked about a lot. It's very, very popular. It was a book that I originally didn't levitate towards getting, but then I don't know, I thought like it was an Alice in Wonderland retelling, but then someone said it's like a Sleeping Beauty retelling and it's sapphic. I really think that's the right word, by the way, sapphic meaning like female romance. And that one is Malice. So I'm not going to really go into this one too much other than it is a retelling for Sleeping Beauty. I think that she's cast and the bad character. You know what, I am going to look a little bit. Okay, so it's got Let Me Tell You. No one actually cares about what happens to our princesses. I thought I didn't care either until I met her. Princess Aurora, the last heir to the throne, the future queen, her realm needs one who isn't bothered that I am the dark grace. So yeah, I'm not going to say more. So she's basically like, I'm guessing like supposed to be enemies, and it's like a romance, and I think they're trying to break a curse. Really sounds really, really good. Next up is a book that I think came through like a book box, and everyone was talking about it, which means they had sprayed edges and I don't. It's a sad time when you don't get sprayed edges. But I saw this book being talked about. I don't really know if people enjoyed it or not. I just kept seeing the cover everywhere, and that is Little Thieves. So again, don't know much about this book. I'll read the back. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful, kind princess and her wicked maid. One day, the wicked maid stole the princess's face, and with it her name, her betrothal, everything. The princess had to toil away as a servant, whilst her maid lived like a queen. When the maid was caught, she died for her crimes, and the princess lived happily ever after. Or that is how the story has been told. Now it's time for the wicked maid to tell her side of the story. Just that like makes this so intriguing. So I think we're following the protagonist that's maybe not, you know, the normal nice character who's got kind of a darker personality, maybe a darker story background, which makes it really, really interesting. And this cover, again, this cover is so beautiful. Like, also not happy because there's like a tiny bit of damage. Like, guys, can you see that? Tiny bit of damage. Like, really Amazon. Happy. But yeah, so this is another one. Oh my god. Oh my god. This. Okay, so yeah. The next one is a book that I had on my wish list for a while, which is probably why my partner chose to get it me. The cover, again, is so pretty. Too many pretty covers. And that is The Bone Criers Moon. This cover is so gorgeous. I think this book came out not this year, maybe last year, because I think that's a sequel to this one. And yeah, I don't really want to go into this one again, knowing too much about it. We have to make our own sacrifices one day, and it will be easier if we didn't grow attached to those desired to die. So like I said, I don't know too much about this one. I don't remember, and I kind of want to go into this one like not knowing too much, so the story don't get ruined, because sometimes information gets told on a synopsis, blurb, whatever you want to call it, and then you kind of expect it to happen, where if you just go into it blind, it's all a surprise. But yeah, I do think this one's like an enemy to lovers fantasy romance though. I could be wrong, like I said. I don't remember too much about this one, but I do remember when I first read the synopsis, it really caught my attention, and a lot of people have enjoyed this one. Of course, there are negative reviews, but you know, there's negative reviews about everything, so it doesn't really say anything, does it? Another book that I've got here is a book that I just randomly came across and it sounded really interesting, so I just added it to my wish list, and that was Lake's Edge. So this is about an estate that's supposed to be, I think, haunted or something, and our character needs to save this character called Rowan, but also it gets like, I think it's going to get like quite dark, and it says on here that Letta must confront the darkness in her past, including unraveling the mystery of her connection with the Lord Under. So yeah, it's like there's this estate that she and her younger brother go to live to, and there's this history of this family that drowned or something, and she meets this guy called Rowan. There's a lot of stuff, a twist by the sounds of it, a lot of dark, creepy stuff. I'm not quite sure the genre of this is. I'm seeing people say that it's like a dark fairy tale being compared to Phantom of the Opera sort of thing. So yeah, it's another one that sounds really good that I want to go into, not knowing too much about. But if you do want to know more details, then you can go and check this out on Amazon or Goodreads. Next up is a book that you all probably know, so I'm not going to really go into details about this one, just because this book's been talked about a lot. It's a series, but I only wanted to get the first book so I can see if I like it first. So I added the first book to my wish list, and I was never going to do this. I wasn't going to do it, but then everyone talks about it. I was like, okay, I kind of want to see what the fuss is about, and that is The Poppy War. So yeah, so many people have read this book and really loved it, and there are 2 more books in the series as well, but I want to just read this one at some point and then decide if I want to continue the series. But honestly, it sounds really good, and there's nothing but positive reviews about this. Like, I don't think I've seen a bad review. Honestly, yeah, I don't think I've seen a bad review about this book, so I kind of was like, okay, well, I kind of need to read it. Quite chunky. Yeah, it's over 500 pages, so it's quite a chunker, but finally I'm going to get to this one. I say that, but there's so many books. So the final whatever that is, the final book on this list is The Nature of Witches. I'm actually super glad that I got gifted this, because I've been seeing loads of people say nothing but positive reviews. Like when people recommended books to me, this one kept getting recommended. And I think that one of the reasons why I didn't get it is because they've got a real person on the cover, and that kind of puts me off, which is kind of stupid because this cover is actually kind of gorgeous. But what's more gorgeous, and you'll know if you've been watching my channel, because you just know I have a weakness for this stuff, under the dust jacket. Oh my god. Look at that. That is just, oh my god, so pretty. It's just so gorgeous. I love it. But yeah, that's all the books I got for my birthday. If you want to know a bit more details about them, you can go and check them out on Amazon or Goodreads. They have all the information on there. Wow, I'm getting loads a bit more stupid. Yay. But yeah, so this is all my birthday books that I got gifted from my partner, which I'm so grateful for. Honestly, this is just so many books. I think I bought 1 or 2 for myself. I can't remember. But you know, it's always good to treat yourself for your own birthday. But yeah, I'm super grateful for all these books I got. Honestly, this is more than enough. I've been happy with just one book. If you've read any of these though, let me know below what you thought of them. Were any of these favourites for you? Were you disappointed by any of them? Or are you still yet to read any of these? Again, don't leave any spoilers, but let me know your thoughts. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, it would mean the world to me, and turn on that notification bell so you get alerted to when I next upload. And until next time, bye!